Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. Several areas that we're watching. We've got, of course, post-tropical cyclone Francine. So that's still bringing some rain across portions of Tennessee back into Arkansas, down into Mississippi. Still seeing some of these areas of rain. Then we have this area off the east coast of the Carolinas. We've got that Invest 94. Now we've got Tropical Storm Gordon. That was at Tropical Depression number 7. It has now been upgraded to a tropical storm, so we've got the next name on the list. But first, the area right off the Carolina coastline. You see a large area of rain. This is actually a non-tropical low, just an area of low pressure developing along an old frontal boundary. When we talk about this, you get these fronts across the southeast, across the Gulf of Mexico, western Atlantic. They hang out long enough. Sometimes you get these areas of low pressure that develop along these, and from time to time they become tropical. From time to time they become non-tropical or subtropical. And this looks like a case where we could start to see this trying to acquire some maybe subtropical characteristics, but really, regardless whether it develops or not, it's going to bring a lot of heavy rain across the Carolinas as we head through the weekend. You look at the Fox model, you look at some of these rainfall amounts up into North Carolina, northeastern South Carolina. We could see some amounts 5 to 7 inches. So definitely a wet weekend up across the Carolinas. Now, you look way out into the Atlantic. This was at Tropical Depression number 7. Now it is Gordon. Top winds right now are at 40 miles an hour. This storm, it's going to struggle over the next several days. It will continue to work its way towards the west. You notice we go from a tropical storm back to a depression and then eventually back to a tropical storm, because it looks like as we go through the weekend, it will start to encounter some more wind shear. That looks like it'll start to weaken the storm, but then it looks like as we get into next week, the wind shear starts to lessen over this, which would allow this storm to strengthen once again. At least that's the thinking right now. So we'll kind of have to wait and see how all this really plays out as we go through the next several days. The nice thing about Gordon is so far this season, every named system has made landfall. Now, this is still way out there, but the eventual forecast track, the long-range computer models are projecting that this will eventually just kind of work its way over open waters, and that would be the end of this storm. So this would end up being the first named storm that does not make landfall. So hopefully we keep it that way. So Invest 94, very disorganized. Conditions just don't look all that conducive to see much happening with this, but it'll kind of curve to the north and then looks like it'll hang out close to many of these islands. So they will continue to at least deal with the threat of more heavy rains with this as we go through the coming days and into next week. Other than that, things are quiet, but of course we're still at that peak of the season here, very close to it, where we expect to see more activity, and we'll keep you updated right here on myfoxhurricane.com.